from their hosts. It's 2-0, De Bruyne and Foden, the goal scorers. And Brighton, if they want something this, need to react quickly. They try to, but Veltman can't control and it's out for a throw in to Manchester City in line with the edge of their own box, which Guardiola will take. Well, City came here in May 2019 on the last day of the season and secured the title here with a 4-1 win. Well, that's a risky pass that Walker uncharacteristically miscontrols, but he stops it going out for a corner. That 4-1 win that day, securing the title. Well, of course, they can't secure the title today. They won't even go top with a win today. What a statement this would be. There to keep this going. Here's Guardiola now. Down the touchline, left hand side for Alvarez. The chase dunk, beats into it, goes back to Steele. He takes a touch and then plays it to the left corner of the penalty area to Barco. Modest, a rangy Polish midfielder. Straight to Walker though, and now Rodri to Kovacic. Alvarez to Foden around 30 yards from goal. Twists and turns, tries to get away from Pascal Gross, and no foul given. That one sort of looked more of a foul than the free kick did, and then Foden, maybe a bit of frustration there as he empties Barco around 25 yards from goal. They're just so, like a well-oiled machine, Pep Guardiola's Man City. The rain has started coming down here now on the south coast. Some spring showers here. Guardiola has the ball in left back and goes back to Ake in the 18-yard box. You forget he had that chance at 0-0 sliding in at the back post, but City have gone, made sure that they've forgotten all about that one. The rain really tipping it down here now. South Coast spring night as Foden comes deep to get the ball off of Akanji, and now Ake to Guardiola. Back to Ake again, and City just so comfortable on the ball. Rodri to Akanji. He plays one down the middle for De Bruyne to chase Barco. He's going to get there and plays the pass back to Jason Steele. In the centre circle, 1-2 with Foden. Rodri is just the metronome of this City team. They're certainly clicking up through the gears here this evening. You're listening to unofficial Premier League commentary live this Thursday evening, or whatever time of the day it is, wherever you're listening. Thanks for being with us. It's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Manchester City 2. Goals from Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. The difference between the sides. Here's De Bruyne dropping deep there, 1-2 with Foden. 2 goals scores. De Bruyne with a diving header on the end of Kyle Walker's cross, and Phil Foden with a deflected free kick. There's the difference. And here's Ederson, who was actually the first goalkeeper to be tested this evening. An early snapshot from Danny Welbeck that the Brazilian got down to save well, but he's been pretty much a spectator since then. Brighton trying to come forward. It's away by Kovacic to De Bruyne over halfway. Has Alvarez to his left and forward. He finds him left corner of the penalty area. Julian Alvarez, navy blue and pink shirts coming up with him. Alvarez though slows it down, goes back to Kovacic on the edge of the box. Back to Guardiola, the Croatian connection again. He leads it for Rodri though. To Foden. Back to Kovacic. Middle of the Brighton half. Rodri under pressure but still gets the pass away. De Bruyne trying to hold off Baleba, but he does well to win it back. And now here's Welbeck, who we haven't really mentioned since that chance after about 3 minutes. He's been very much a spectator since then. This Manchester City side just so good at clicking up through the gears when they need to, and they will punish you. Back at the feet again of Jason Steele, and Barco gives it away on the edge of the box. Foden is 3! Oh, and the self-destruct button has been hit here by Brighton Hove Albion. Valentin Barco, the young debutant, who has been so impressive so far, but he is the victim of City. Well, the victim of Brighton really trying to overplay it in their own box. They've been doing it all night. Roberto De Zerbi is sitting in the rain on the bench looking stunned, but Phil Foden has his second of the game. He accepts the gift from Barco. Steele with a pass put him under pressure, but he had time to do something with it. He went back to Steele, to Baleba. He gave it away to Bernardo Silva, and Foden stroked it in. Brighton, what are they doing? Just some awful self-destructive defending. Steele, Baleba, and then Barco there, just overplaying in their own box. And in the end, I said earlier they're going to get caught out by this, and in the end it's unfortunately the 19-year-old Argentinian making his first start, who gives it away to Bernardo Silva. He sticks the foot in, which diverts it to Phil Foden, who finishes clinically first time into the corner. And 35 minutes, it's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Manchester City 3. Well, this has the makings of a long, long night here on the south coast for Brighton. There's a long ball forward. Phil Foden, of course, got a hat-trick in the 5-1 win over Luton, which was actually Manchester City's last Premier League game. That's now 5 Premier League goals in 2 games, as the first booking of the night comes out for from Jared Gillett on Joel Veltman for a foul on Foden, who won the ball back well, and Veltman just manhandled the England international, and he goes into Jared Gillett's notebook, the first of the night for either side. 10 minutes plus stoppage time left at the end of this first half. It's those Manchester City fans behind Ederson's goal who are enjoying their night. The home fans not so. It's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Manchester City 3, Kevin De Bruyne and a Phil Foden double. I've just cut Roberto De Zerbi's Seagulls into bits. There's Akanji stepping out of defence but gives it away. De Bruyne though battles to win it back, but Veltman will steer it back to Steele, who certainly has well, it's obviously the way Brighton are being told to play, but my goodness, when you're against a team like Manchester City who will pressure and harry you so much, you cannot be playing risky football in and around your own penalty area. Here's Veltman on the right hand side over halfway. Nice ball in behind for João Pedro on the right hand side. Ake comes across to try and stop him. João Pedro gets a left footed ball in, it misses everybody, but Barco gets it at the back post. He drills it back in, blocked by Walker. It'll come back to Barco, takes a good touch, drills in again, deflected behind this time by Bernardo Silva. So better that time from Barco, who will not want to see City's third goal again. Ginger haired Argentinian. Barco left for the right swinger, in it comes indeed. De Bruyne wins the header, flicks it away. Dunk on the edge of the box, back down. Foden away. Gross will look to pick it up, but now it's away from City. Alvarez slightly behind De Bruyne, but he will hold on to it. That slowed down the City counter attack, but as they so often do that. Kevin De Bruyne, but he's put his side under some needless pressure here. What can Brighton do? They have a throw in taken by João Pedro. We'll go back to Lewis Dunk on halfway, who plays it back to his centre half partner Jan-Paul van Hecke. Here's Veltman. Gross, pass deflected, but still finds Danny Welbeck on the right touchline midway inside the City half. Got Guardiola, despite being 3-0 up, is on the touchline or on the edge of his technical area, still giving out dramatic instructions down there. Gross to Veltman. Run from Danny Welbeck. Has he beaten the offside trap? There he has. Into the right hand corner, followed there by Ake, but Welbeck now goes back, looking for his options, and Brighton are looking a little slow and laboured here, but they're holding on to the ball at least. Here's Modesh. Back to Van Hecke. Dunk immediately under pressure from Bernardo Silva and Alvarez, so he rolls it to Van Hecke, who gets it forward to Welbeck, who this time is offside behind the last man there. Ake and Guardiola stepped up together at the right time, and that made the difference. So 39 gone here at the Amex, and if you're just joining us, it has been a typically dominant and clinical first half from Manchester City. Oh, lovely from Foden. He's got 2 of the goals, and he's set Kovacic away here midway inside the Brighton half. He holds off Veltman. Now De Bruyne, and the space for Bernardo Silva. Rodri has this thing so good about this City team, they won't force things that aren't there. Kovacic, Foden, in the left touchline of Guardiola. Foden, Guardiola, left hand corner of the penalty area. Those options in the middle. Good block by Baleva, but Foden gets there. Now Ake. Foden. Twisting and turning, Baleva on his heels this time, but as per usual, no panic. It's back with Guardiola. Oh, lovely, into Rodri there. Rodri always available for a pass. Here's Bernardo Silva out right to Walker in the line with the edge 18-yard box. Back to Rodri. Now Ake City just like a boa constrictor, they'll just squeeze you into submission. Foden. De Bruyne. To Ake on halfway. Now De Bruyne. Back to Foden. And City just pass after pass here, and just at that De Bruyne loses it. First to the commentator, Modesh comes away. João Pedro back to Barco, who you really have to feel for. He had a solid debut, actually, all things considered, up until that third goal, which he won't want to see again. Here's Veltman now in front of Pep Guardiola, still on the edge of his technical area. Dunk. Van Hecke back to his captain. Plays on forward right footed. João Pedro's going to race out, but Ederson, his Brazilian international teammate, will beat him to it. Modesh now, good touch and turn from Lallana, and well, Danny Welbeck was flat footed and João Pedro was coming back from an offside position, so the ball will roll all the way through slowly to Ederson. 5 minutes, so 4 now until the break here at the Amex. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Manchester City 3. This win, as it stands, puts Citizens just a point behind tabletoppers Arsenal, of course, with that game in hand. Very much in their hands, this title. Here's Alvarez now, has Foden and Kovacic ahead of him. Uses Foden, who's trying to get away from Van Hecke and Veltman, but Veltman does a good job, wins the ball back. Had he not done, Foden was in on Jason Steele for a first half hat-trick there. Modesh now away to Gross on the right touchline. Back into the penalty area for Duncan Van Hecke, who's basically on the penalty spot here. Ooh, another risky pass. Modest, who this time wins it. Joao Pedro tries to flick it on to Lallana, but Rodri will come in and steer it back to Ake now, midway inside his own half. Rodri. Rodri to Foden now. Rodri on halfway. Back across the halfway line to Kovacic. Foden back to Kovacic and just pass. Here's Foden. Right hand touchline midway inside the Brighton half for Bernardo Silva. Back to Akanji. Rodri. Guardiola on the touchline in front of Guardiola. Kanji to De Bruyne. Guardiola, and well, City maybe just happy to pass their way into half time here. Guardiola looks over the top though for Alvarez, and Steele, it won't come into the box for him, so he has to volley it clear. And Pep Guardiola, well, I'm sure he had a better first touch than that as a player, as that one comes down and he can't control it. It was coming down from some height, to be fair to him. Throw into City, taken by Guardiola, back to Ake and now Bernardo Silva. There's loads of room just to trot over halfway. Akanji. Okay. To Rodri. Alvarez comes deep for that one. The irony is he's been the lone striker and he's been fairly quiet in this first half. Foden to Walker. Silva overlapping, but Walker holds on to it and rolls it laterally inside to Alvarez to De Bruyne. Guardiola. Kanji and City. My goodness, this is just metronomic from the champions. Bernardo Silva. Kanji. Foden, a lovely pass into De Bruyne, who's head down into the penalty area now. Kevin De Bruyne still going, surrounded by three Brighton players, and one of them, not sure who it was, deflects it behind for a corner. And as we're into the last minute of the 45, I think it was Lewis Dunk, the Brighton captain, that come off a lovely pass round the corner from Phil Foden to get De Bruyne in there. It's a combination of Barco and Dunk who deflect the Belgians' effort behind. The Belgian who gave City a lead with a diving header. Of all his traits and skills, that wouldn't be one you'd think would be right up there, but he just shows he's capable of anything. There's a ball in there, header away by Dunk to Alvarez on the edge of the box. He's going to hit one, blocked by Modest, comes back out to Walker 30 yards from goal. De Bruyne into the back post, a bit long for everybody. Rodri's going to follow it into the corner and goes back to Alvarez. Faced up by Gross, so he'll play it out right to De Bruyne. We're into the stoppage time now, of which there will be 3 minutes. There's Bernardo Silva back to De Bruyne. Walker in the centre circle, back to Ake. And now Rodri just invites Veltman onto him and he says, no, I'll give that to my teammate Ake. Bernardo Silva, right hand side, midway inside his own half here. Now he takes it over halfway and plays a lovely ball down the line for Walker. He's so fast, so is Barco, but Walker's got the better of him. Right hand corner of the penalty area, he'll roll it back to Bernardo Silva, and again City just happy to play the waiting game, waiting for the right moment to strike, which they didn't feel that was it. And Foden will bring Ake back into play, the furthest City outfield player back. De Bruyne to Kovacic in the centre circle, nice. He done. Alvarez gets a bump from Van Hecke, but plays on. De Bruyne back to Kovacic, and they just have Brighton chasing shadows at the moment. There's De Bruyne back to Bernardo Silva and Rodri inside their own half. City, but just rolling the ball around.